I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Paul Puey, the CEO and co-founder of Edge app. Paul, thank you so much for coming on the show, and it's a pleasure to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So let's kick off the show with a little bit of background on yourself. I know you've been one of the original crypto people, and you've been working on Airbits and now Edge for a long time. And then tell us a little bit about how Edge got started.
Oh gosh, let's see, how can I keep that into a hopefully not too long a period of time. But myself, I'm a graduate from Berkeley, engineering student, worked in Silicon Valley for almost a decade, primarily at NVIDIA. That was kind of the last job in tech before leaving for about 10 years, doing small business, and then discovering cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in 2013, where I just, like many people say, went down the rabbit hole and became the worst employee at my job at that time, and had to leave a job that I loved to focus on cryptocurrency. And that was my re-entry back into tech, where I saw what existed and I saw what needed to get built and what could be built, and said, I think we can improve this industry. We can build some better software and easier solutions. And then launched Edge with a handful of co-founders in late 2013, early 2014. And we've been building since. And, there's a short and a long story into the transition in Edge, but it's been a great rebrand and new product that we're very excited about.
That's awesome, Paul. And what would you say is the thing that differentiates Edge the most from other crypto wallets and applications?
Got it. So I'll try to pick the 2 or 3 things that differentiate it the most. Number one, which is why we rebranded to Edge in the first place, is the way we do security. Fundamentally, we do security very differently than most other cryptocurrency apps, in that we take private keys, and while still allowing people to own and control their money, we encrypt and secure and back up those keys automatically for the user, where they don't have to deal with seeing 24 words, writing something down on a piece of paper, or encrypting a file. All of that is hidden from them. They just simply create an account and log in. That was what it was like in Airbits. That's what it's like in Edge. And then fundamentally after that, the architecture of Edge is very, very modular. It's allowed us to quickly incorporate many different blockchains, even on mobile, that many other wallets just have struggled with, including things like Monero and Ripple, Stellar, and soon another, almost non-existent blockchain on other wallets we're about to incorporate and launch next week. Second in that modularity is the fact that we're very modular in incorporating exchanges. So we've got Shapeshift, Changelly, and ChangeNow to do crypto-to-crypto exchanges. And we have a really, really cool integration where the app will directly access multiple exchanges to find the best price for whatever currency you're trying to swap at the amount that you want to swap, for the pair that you want to swap. So that eliminates the users from trying to figure out which service to use that even has the currency pair available. So it automatically hunts at best price, and we're able to plug in more of those exchanges pretty easily, as well as fiat to crypto exchanges. We have almost like a dApp browser plugin architecture. Right now we only have Simplex, which does credit card. But soon we'll have other currency, other exchanges to be able to do purchasing and selling, on-ramping via bank transfer around the world via half a dozen different partners.
Wow, that's awesome. And that was part of my next question was, a lot of people think of crypto wallet app as just, you can just store your coins, you can receive some funds, and you can send them. But it sounds like you guys have really taken it to the next level, being able to purchase and exchange, and between multiple exchanges, that actually sounds like an amazing feature. And one thing that I know about exchanges is sometimes you guys have to do a KYC, depending on how much the amount of funds you're transferring through exchanges. Do you guys have like a single system that allows people to onboard, or do they have to KYC for each individual services on that, or how does that work?
Right. So for today, some services simply don't require KYC, such as Changelly and ChangeNow. Shapeshift does, Simplex does. And so right now you do have to KYC with each of the services you use. For the most part, with the fiat on-ramps, we expect most people to have one, at most 2 services that they use, because we'll partner with the different fiat on-ramps in different countries. So if you're in Europe, you'll use that one. If you're in the US, you'll use a different one, but you're not really going to KYC with both.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
And so for the most part, you won't have to do a lot of KYC. You'll do it once or twice, and then you're kind of done. Now, one very cool, unique thing about Edge versus other wallets is we encrypt and back up private keys for the user. Well, guess what? It doesn't have to be in private keys that we encrypt and back up. It can actually be other information. And when you use Edge, you'll notice you can tag transactions with a little bit of information, like who did I pay, what's the category, some notes, the fiat value. All of that is also encrypted and backed up. No one can see that data but you. Well, we aimed in 2019 to also make it where the KYC information that you'd be sending into exchanges also gets encrypted and backed up with your account. And that'll allow you to send that information to other services if you need to KYC with other exchanges or any other services, making it way easier than having to fill in your email or phone number, passport,
For sure.
over and over again. You just hit a button to approve it. We basically become like a password manager built into your wallet.
That's amazing. And I know a lot of people would like to streamline that process. So I'm glad that you guys are doing a great job there. So, my father interviewed you back in 2014 at Inside Bitcoins. And back then you guys had one of the most popular wallets still. And I'm curious now, how big is your guys' community and how many active users do you guys have on Edge right now?
Got it. So community-wise, we're between 500 and a million, we'll say, within that range of accounts created on the platform. And depending on the price of crypto, the amount of accounts that we're acquiring can range anywhere from 500 to like 3,000 accounts a day. Just because when the price is up, people want to get in, and so it's definitely quite a lot of volatility in the acquisition. I think every company sees that. You'll hear of many companies saying, "Wow, we're getting this many accounts a day." Especially in the times of huge interest in cryptocurrency. So we've got a pretty wide range, but in the lull and slowest days when there's no one's really talking about crypto, we'll see like 300 to 500 accounts getting created a day worldwide. Wow. And so our goal in 2019 is to grow that even in the lull. And I think the stuff that's getting added to Edge, such as the new exchange integrations, make Edge very relevant in many different countries for more than just holding, but now for actually acquiring and sending. And one of our big goals is to be a globally recognized brand where wherever you are, all you have to know or recommend to people is Edge, and we'll be able to connect you with the right exchange inside of the app to buy crypto and it be non-custodial the entire way through.
Definitely. And it's great to hear that there's still a lot of people signing up. When the prices are down, of course, the market being up helps you guys. But to be a global brand, you also need a lot of marketing. Are you guys, putting capital into marketing, or are you looking for more organic growth? And were you guys able to still get a lot of users in 2018, although the market was downtrending most of the year?
2018, definitely the early half of the year, we were acquiring quite a bit of users. That was kind of the tail end of the big spike, and then things started to tail off, and then it's been steady actually since early Q1 or early Q2 of 2018. It's been pretty steady. So we haven't what I call dipped, since then. So it's been pretty steady to slightly up. And our big focus for kind of the marketing initiative, as we are in kind of this bear market, we want to be very resourceful and wisely use the funds that we do have. So one thing that we do on the marketing initiative is really try to capture the thought leaders, the advocates, the evangelists, the people that organize meetups, that set people up with wallets. And to some degree, I travel for conferences, but I also love traveling for meetups and getting to meet those people and connect with them, show them the value out of Edge, and then potentially sponsor the meetups and offer them a little bit of crypto to onboard new users, send them the first few dollars of crypto for the new users that come in through the doors. And so we sponsor maybe half a dozen, if not more, meetups around the world. And that's where we'd like to focus some of our efforts in the short term.
That's great.
We think it's the most bang for the buck.
That's awesome. And I know you guys are working on a lot of additional features coming up here, but I want to talk a little bit about the revenue streams for Edge right now. You guys probably have, I know you guys, since you have a couple different features, do you guys have a couple different revenue streams, and are you looking at adding more revenue streams as you integrate more features?
Right, so we have two primary revenue streams. One is our licensing of the technology. So our SDK is a licensed SDK for people that use it, white label it, put it in their own app, or build their app entirely based on Edge, like a white labeled wallet with some added functionality that's their own. And that's one of our revenue streams, just basically licensing out the tech. And the second one is simply the revenue we get in the application from these exchange integrations. So any integration that we put into the app, we rev share with the partner that's providing that service. And so we're excited about that as our large growth opportunity. A lot of people right now think wallets don't have kind of any place in the space for revenue, and it's all exchanges. But what they don't realize is that going forward, especially as crypto becomes useful and people get into it first for utility, then their first touch point with crypto is the wallet. It's not the exchange. And the exchange kind of starts to take a back seat. And since wallets can integrate with the exchanges, we have a bit more control over which exchanges get integrated, and therefore can command a bit more of that rev share. And so while it's not that case today, I think it's migrating in that direction, which is why you're seeing, some, for one thing, some acquisitions of wallet projects by the exchanges, as well as exchanges looking at offering APIs so that wallets can connect to them in the first place. So this, I think, is a transition we're going to start to see over the next 3 to 5 years, as wallets taking a higher kind of level of priority in the ecosystem and in people's minds than where they were before.
That's great. And have you guys considered, with exchanges and all these big players and institutions coming into the market, the potential of mergers and acquisitions with Edge and other companies?
With any startup, it's always on the mind. So it's not the first thing. It's not our first target goal. We just want to build and get a great product into people's hands. That's the first order of business. But from the viewpoint of being a company and a startup with investors, it's something it's in the back of our mind. And I feel like we've built a team and a product that, if we were interested in acquisition, we could easily have someone interested.
That's great. So let's go back a little bit to when you talked about the exchange integrations, and you guys also have some other updates coming for 2019 in terms of development. Could you recap, what are the users of the app going to be receiving in the near term, and when are these developments coming out?
So in the near term, we've got a launch going out next week, which will incorporate a major top 10 market cap cryptocurrency, as well as another way for people to acquire crypto with a partnership directly inside of the app. To complement the current integration, which is simplex with credit card around the world, will give you a cheaper option. Many people complain about the 6+% fee of service like simplex. And while they complain, I give it a lot of respect because it's very fast. In 10 to 30 minutes, you have crypto in your wallet. You can't really get that with most other services. So, but we're providing a cheaper alternative that will be on the order of 1% fees via bank transfer. So that's coming out literally about next week. Roadmap for the rest of the year, as I'd mentioned, probably by Q2, our goal is to have, and we think we can easily accomplish this, by Q2, have everywhere from Canada to parts of Latin America, Brazil, and Panama, a lot of Europe, Switzerland, and Australia, all covered to be able to buy and sell crypto within Edge. And that's nearly 40 countries. And it's possible some other partnerships will show up as we go to conferences, and we'll have even more than that. And so that's going to be the big focus over the next, Q1, Q2 of this year. And then probably later into the year, Q3, Q4, one of the things that we really want to focus on is integrations with our SDK going into other apps. Similar how we have Augur using the Edge SDK for their DApp. We'd really love to push that and get developer resources on integrations of our SDK into many other dApps. We feel like by the end of 2019, some dApps will really start to gain some good traction, and we'd love to see Edge integrated into those.
That's great. I'm looking forward to those updates, and hopefully we can recap another interview when something big comes out and we can see how you guys are flourishing. So are you guys looking for more people to join the team, help in other ways, or are you just looking for more people to use the Edge app right now? And also, how can those people get a hold of you?
Got it. Definitely for people to use the Edge app. We want to hear feedback, get people using it, see how the platform scales. If people have any questions, reach us at edge.app. There's links to Telegram and Twitter and Facebook on the bottom of our website. There's also links to download the app itself. And then subscribe for our newsletter. You can get updates on when we've got new functionality and features in the app, as well as great content that we push out every week on just the state of the industry, features, new coins, new protocols, the state of regulation. We try to keep people well informed in the industry as a whole as well via our newsletter. So definitely edge.app. That's kind of the easy way to get in touch with us in all the different facets of social and content.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul Puey, CEO and co-founder of Edge app. It was a pleasure speaking to you today. I'm looking forward to the updates in Edge in the coming time here. And good luck at Bitcoin Miami and the other events you're attending this year. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Ashton.